Come and join us as we go explore the secret underground tunnels what run beneath the old Roman city of Chichester. Beneath the city lies a network of underground tunnels which date back to the Roman ages. These tunnels were known for its underground secret passageways what would connect the city. As we slowly made our way into the deep dark tunnels, we noticed one of the secret bricked off passageways. And as we pressed on into this deep dark tunnel, we had no idea just what we were about to stumble across. God, look at this Roman pottery.
That's quite old, isn't it?
It does look quite old. There's an old bone there. Look at this big old bone in here.
Bone, did you say?
That's a bone, mate.
Really?
Yeah, mate. And I've got a surprise in my bag for you what I haven't told you about. I managed to source a hand-drawn map from an old resident of Chichester.
Really? That's quite old, isn't it?
Which shows the old secret Roman caves what are on the outskirts of the city of Chichester. Now let's get into today's adventure. This is the old Roman market city of Chichester. It was built with 4 main streets which were surrounded by large walls and gateways in order to access the city. The city used to house an old Roman castle along with some ancient Roman baths which would have been located down West Street. It holds many secrets with underground tunnel systems what run all over the city, doors leading to nowhere, and even some old Roman remains still left to be discovered. What most people don't realise to this day, there is still 4 plaques all written in Roman down each one of the 4 streets. These particular plaques are on the floor where most people walk straight over and don't notice. Each plaque is the same and they say the New Market of Chichester.
So just over here, just in there, that is the buttery, or the crypt in there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and there is actually an entrance in the back of the buttery or the crypt what goes down to the tunnels.
Yeah.
There's lots of stories about an old priest what used to go through the buttery and go down into the tunnel. Yeah. Now this is the crypt on this side. And actually in the cathedral you have lots of hatches underneath which would run through. You've got a hatch what would take you up to Bishop Luffer, and that's the back of the buttery. And there is a story about an old lady who years and years ago got taken on a school trip down into this entrance at the crypt, and the tunnel what ran down up to Iceland. I will put a link in the description if I can find it online to that story, so you can always look and read into that story about that underground tunnel.
Now as we make our way down to a secret entrance what leads to just one of these underground tunnels what run under the city, I'm going to tell you all about an old story of the Heist of Chichester where these tunnels were used as an escape route. Located down South Street, Chichester, lies the shop called Hansford Menswear. In the cellar of the shop there is a bricked off passageway which is believed to lead to the cathedral. Back in the 70s the passageway was left open and was once used by burglars who used the route to break into the shop and make off with a number of sheepskin and fur coats. It's believed the people who are pulled off the heist have never been caught, and that's the main reason why most of these underground tunnel systems have been blocked off, sealed up, or even unspoken about.
Quite low down, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets even lower as you get down further. There might be a few bats in here.
Vampire bats, eh?
Look up here, look at how it's all look at the brick, Pat, how it's all crumbled away. All the floors all corroded away now as well, guys, so you can see
It's quite old tunnel.
it's taken a real battering from the water these last few years.
Just here in the side of the tunnel you'll see another bricked off passageway. This would have originally led you off under the city and eventually down to another network of underground tunnels.
Check these old rusty pipes out.
So, quite straight up, eh? You never really go down here.
As we slowly made our way down into the tunnel, it started getting tighter and tighter. We had to be very careful not to smash our heads on the overhanging pipes.
If you look down there, can you guys see down there?
Shot.
Let's see what's down here. Let's zoom in here.
Still quite interesting down here.
Down there, guys, we've got a big long tunnel going right down up there. looks like it's blocked. There's something in there blocking it. Again, if I show you the floor, you can see these pipes running out. These are new pipes. These weren't in here before a few years back. But for now, let's push on and show you the rest of this underground tunnel.
Chichester is full of many different network of tunnels which would link many of the old shops to all different parts of the city, from Priory Park to the Chichester Cathedral.
You'll find the other tunnels are very sort of yellow and orange and very, very damp. So obviously this one isn't too damp because of the water has access in and can flow out. So more little holes here. Again, just drainage. This brickwork's all held up quite well though. But that's why we have this gully in the middle. Gully in the middle is so the water can run through nicely when there's only a low stream. So it doesn't just stay in the tunnel and stay clogged. But again, this brickwork's all crumbling out and starting to crumble away. So if you do find yourself exploring this tunnel, be careful, don't grab hold of the bricks above you because they could come down. Now, it opens up here to a slightly larger area, as you can see. So you see what I'm saying about the brownness on the brick, the dirty brownness on the brick. Now, this is a lot more, look at that big spider there. Look at him. Now, this is a lot more what the main Roman tunnels under Chichester will be like, very much like this staining, very damp sort of things. And a couple of rusty pipes sticking out, and you can see they've caught a lot of debris. Now we're getting really low now, guys.
Yeah.
Under the pipes. And it should open up in a minute.
You dare me to go down there, mate?
Let's have a look, let's see what we got down there. Without getting in your shot, look at all that build-up of dirt and grime in there. Now, I can't help but think maybe that might lead to a larger tunnel down there.
Yeah. What was that noise, mate?
It's the cars going over. Let's get that torch right there. Yeah, it's got so much dirt and build-up in the floor, guys, as you can see. We'll only get a certain way up. You hear the noises? It's the cars going over the drains as they're driving along under the road.
That could be potentially a way into the tunnel.
It could be.
Mate.
The banging and the popping you guys can hear of cars running over top of the drains, over top of the road, because we have the road what runs over us. And again, I used to remember a big drain in the top back up there where it opened up and got wider up there. However, I didn't notice that drain anymore. It looks like they filled that drain in. Look at this skull on the wall. It's got an eye chiselled out.
I do like skulls, mate. I will say that.
It's skull sprayed. Now you can see, guys, we've got two options. Now you have this one and this one. Pat stood right under the main roadway, which is why you can see the rusty old metal top here.
I mean, I thought I was small, mate, but I
told you you'll be crouching. Now you'll see some of these Banksies on the wall, guys.
You all know exactly who I am.
Yeah. If I stay next to you, then we're not getting in each other's shot, are we?
You must be, your legs must be hurting, mate.
Yeah, legs.
Oh, God.
It's a workout, isn't it? And then it does open up a bit further up. I'm trying not to push in front of you, Pat. I'm trying to stay level so we can see these bits of mouldy old poo.
I don't want to look at
That's
that.
fox poo, Pat, so try not to walk in them. That's what happens to poo.
Oh, I keep banging my head.
So you walked in it.
Oh.
That's what happens to poo, it moulds. So guys, these are part of the tunnels under Chichester. I'll just sort of show you. There's an old bone there, look at this big old bone in here.
Bone, did you say?
That's a bone, mate.
Really?
That is a bone.
Oh no.
Sure.
That's 100% a big bone. Tell us in the comments, guys, if you know what you think that would have been a bone too.
I'm not sure it's
It's definitely a bone, mate. That's a bone.
Oh yeah, definitely is now.
Cat's grabbed hold of it.
Yeah, no.
It's a big old bone though.
I know. What the hell could that be?
Surely that's not a human bone. Let's press on
Yeah.
and let's see what else we find in this tunnel. So it gets lower if I remember, so it's going to get even shorter.
Guys, you hear all that noise on top, it's all the cars going by.
Look at this. Old bits of old pottery here. If I spin you, bear with me guys. Look at these bits of pottery here.
Oh, that's quite old, isn't it?
It does look quite old.
Yeah. Jesus.
That looks really old there. This bit, this brown bit looks really old. See that guys? These are bits of pottery in here. That is an old design, isn't it?
Yeah,
that
100%
there.
that's going back now, mate.
Let's press on. See what else we find.
Oh, Pat, that reminds me. I've got an old hand-drawn map in my bag which I was given by an old resident of Chichester. He says it shows the landscape and the area of where the old secret Roman caves of Lavant are, which is just on the outskirts of Chichester. You up for checking it out after this?
Really? That's quite old, isn't it?
I'm not surprised you've got a load of spiders here. Look at that. That looks like that's been filled in almost.
Hidden away in a small countryside village on the outskirts of the Roman city of Chichester lies the remains of an old secret Roman cave which is referred to as the Lavant Caves. Over the years, many Roman artefacts were found inside these caves, but due to the location being so secretive, many people went in search for these caves and couldn't quite pinpoint the location, so they put the Lavant Caves down to being a myth. However, now we've been given this hand-drawn map, we believe that we can pinpoint its location and we're investigating the mystery of these old Roman caves of Lavant.
So where we are today guys is we are on top of the Goodwood Trundle and we are going to look for these secret caves of Lavant, as we actually managed to source ourselves a map, and I will put the picture in this video. I'll pop it up now. If I give you a pan round, you'll see we are on top of the Goodwood Trundle. Now, the reason why we've brought you up here today is because we've been doing a bit of research of the Lavant Caves. Now, we've been researching, we've been looking at the LiDAR maps, we've been looking at Google Maps, and we've been trying to match up and find a destination where these Lavant Caves must be, because of years ago, 100 years ago, they actually found these caves and they started digging them out. Now, there was 3 chambers in these caves, and what they actually found was they found a load of Roman artefacts in some of these caves. Now, some of them, as you'll see on the map, some of them were unexplored. Now, I do believe over those 100 years the caves have been filled in and you cannot access them. And I did read something somewhere what said that they had actually collapsed. So, to be fair, today we might not be able to get into the cave, but we're on a scout and we're just having a look, because if you don't come out, you don't scout out and about, then you don't find. So, let's go find these caves.
Do you think we're getting closer then?
So basically, you see these bunch of trees here? Yeah. This is our first potential site. I am 95% sure that's our cave spot. And I'll tell you why, because of the map, what I'll show up on the video. It said one yew tree, and it had one yew tree there.
I remember that when you showed me that.
Can you see that tree there on its own? Just off of these big bushes, we've got one tree there.
I think the camera...
That there is a yew tree.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Now, conveniently, that's a yew tree. Then we have the wagon trail, which would have ran from this tree line along and down here, which would then therefore mean that this plot of bushes, which is conveniently in exactly the same sort of shape as the underground caves, is probably the underground cave area.
I do actually remember you showing me this.
Now, we do need to be a bit wary because of, as my research tells me, some of these caves have collapsed. Okay? There was lots of Roman remains what were found in one of the chambers. but some of the chambers have not been explored. Now, everywhere I've asked, everyone I've asked, I've done loads and loads of research on this, and not many people know about these caves. There's also a write-up what says these caves are a hoax, which is fine, but if they're a hoax, why does the landscape match? Why would there have been that map, and why is there a story about lots of Roman remains and chambers and things what have all been closed up? Because people couldn't find whereabouts they were. So guys, can you see down here we found a rabbit hole? Huh? Oh, you ain't got in, mate. I ain't fitting down that. Are you fitting down that? So there's a little rabbit hole going down. That's just something to bear in mind. Let's push on and push down a bit more, shall we? Right guys, can you see this bit of area here? Look at this area. Look at this raised. Look at the chalk being dug out. These are animals, I would have thought.
Animals have probably done this, but there's obviously something down here.
Look at the chalk down there. Yeah. Can you see? Now, this is what we're saying, guys. There could potentially be caves down here, around here. So we've got to stick you down there. Can you see anything down there, guys? Hopefully an angry fox or badger doesn't come out and have them. Now, as you'll see on the map, if you guys went over it like I did, lots of holes. There's another one there, like Pat said. Let's have a go down to. They're on there. On the maps, these guys did dig out an entrance, which I reckon the entrance is here because of, can you see how it's all been dug and backfilled? Yeah. Pat, I reckon that was the entrance.
What?
The dig out. You know they said they dug out an entrance.
Yeah.
That's all been dug out and backfilled. Look at the raised area.
Yeah.
That would have been an entrance to the cave what went off there. Now you have 3 chambers. I'm sure. Jesus Christ, that made me jump. That really made me jump. This was it. This was the entrance. I'll put a picture up as well and you guys will see this is it. I know we're on the right track.
No way we can get down at that.
No. You need the landowner to let you dig up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not us, mate. Nothing we can do about that. That's why the animals would have dug it out. Look at the landscape here. Look how dug out and loose the ground is. Look, more holes, yeah? Is in there, guys? Anything in there?
Hey!
Yeah. We do not normally show how we get to the places like Pat said.
Yeah.
But today we are scouting because of, I'm sure this is it. I'm sure we're on it. I'm sure we're on top of the caves, guys. Over in this section over here, you'll see on the map, it does say there's a large chamber over there with a drop and a ledge over that way. But I think if
you put your feet, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if we push on, shall we, and see where we end up. Look at this, guys. Look at that down there. Look how deep it goes. Look how far down it goes. Why does that go down so far, Pat? Because it's a cave.
Down here, mate.
Because it's a cave. Can you guys see it now?
It goes far down here.
It goes down.
It's got to be way in there, mate.
7 foot? Is that 6, 7 foot that goes down? It's about me stood up, isn't it?
Yep. I'll drop it down there, whatever you want to do.
I'll be digging it up and going back after it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Can you see with that light in there? So there you have it. There is caves all underneath us. We're on the right side. And that's why it's all left like that, Pat. because they don't want anyone going on there.
Yeah, well, I can understand why it's like that, mate. More holes, guys. Again, I believe this is an animal because of the way all the hay and stuff's in there. But again,
These lead down to caves. I know they do. Whoa.
this feels different. It doesn't feel like it's like...
Soft, isn't it? Really soft underfoot. Let's get out of here and let's go around the other side. That's what I mean. I trod on it and it went,
Yeah.
and I thought, whoa, that's not nice.
I mean, that's another way of getting in.
Yeah, falling in.
Yeah.
So guys, we're gonna have to call it for today because we're losing light. As you can see, the sun's going down in the distance over there. But in case you didn't know, yes, there did used to be caves in Lavant. 100 years ago, I'll put up the pictures of the entrances. I'll put up some information on what they actually found here and what sort of Roman artefacts they found in these caves. But this is where they were, believe it or not. And there was a rumour that it was all a hoax because no one could find the entrance. But the entrance got backfilled and no one could find the proper destination. Now, I know this is the destination. I've been over it with maps and everything. And if you guys are knowledgeable of maps and things, you'll know as well as I know. Underneath us now as we speak is a large cave. Whether it's explored or whether it's unexplored, I couldn't honestly tell you. And can we find a way in? No. So sadly, we're not going to be able to explore the actual cave. But there's the area, that's what it was. And if anyone asked you, was there any caves in Lavant? Now you know. Yes, there was. There was a rumour that they had collapsed, which they might have actually collapsed. But from what I can see, they're under the ground. Probably about 8-9 foot down. But without the landowner's permission and an excavator, you're never going to find out. But I'm Leg, thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you on our next adventure.